Rob G, we were doing this a little bit yesterday. You were breaking down these upsets and how there's like 1.5 every wild card round.
It's a crazy stat. On average, historically, we have 1.5 upsets during wild card weekend. And when I say upsets, I don't mean the odds and things like that with Vegas.
Right.
The way the NFL classifies it is if the lower seed beats the higher seed, usually on the road.
And that is really that is really an upset.
That's the upset.
That's the upset.
So it's 1.5, historically. In fact, 40 of the last 46 seasons, we've seen at least one. So by all accounts, we are going to see at least one upset this weekend in Wild Card Weekend. So the Athletic surveyed 8 anonymous coaches and executives. They asked them to make their picks for each game in this Wild Card round. And the 2 teams that they expect to win outright as lower seeds are the Chargers against the Texans and the Vikings, now on a neutral site, against the Rams. Would you guys agree that those are the most likely? And if not, which other games are you keeping an eye on?
Yeah, that for sure. Those 2 are the 2.
Now the Texans.
I mean, they stay in games even when you're like disappointed how they're performing.
But they're not. Can we admit from a year ago, like they're not that team?
Oh, they lost. No. And we've talked about C.J. Stroud, who I still like, but he is taking a step back, and it's a nice.
But this was a team that
James Harden step back
when they got Stephon Diggs. What? Oh, they're going to the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, they're going to the Super Bowl. What? The Texans are. I'm like, they're bypassing the Chiefs, the Bills, and the Ravens. Like the people were
him
like,
as the MVP.
Yes,
they're going to the Super Bowl. Yeah,
we should go back and go look at over some of those preseason predictions. You won't even believe it, where people were hook,
trying
line,
to be
and
ahead
sinker.
of the game with it too.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean, listen, the Chargers, they're playing good football now. Justin Herbert has played the most efficient football of his career because Jim Harbaugh knows how to stabilize quarterbacks. And, I'm going to run the ball. I'm going to get it out of your hands some. You just make the right play when you need to. Because we run the ball so much, play action passes will be available. And Justin Herbert's doing that with not a lot of talent on the offensive end. Usually the Chargers have always had a bunch of offensive talent, so much so that we always end up being disappointed in the playoff part of it because we're like we wanted more from the Chargers. So that doesn't surprise me that the Chargers would, we had the Texans getting beat. Again, C.J. Stroud hasn't been playing well like he had been last year. And then the Vikings, I agree with what Sean King was saying earlier with just that the Rams being at home, McVay knowing O'Connell, he was up under his staff, and we got this game at home where we already beat you. That was to be a different little feel to this. I might have actually picked the Rams, but now it's a neutral site, taking away that little bit of luster that the Rams may have had. And I do believe Vikings being ticked off how they lost to the Lions, trying to make a statement again and get back at the Lions the following week. I think that makes sense.
Yeah, I don't like where the Rams offense has been lately, and that was why I would have picked
the Vikings. Yeah. Either way, even if it was here.
Either way, I really would have.
That's a fair point. I mean, they were looking like a field goal team for a while.
There was a struggle. But the Chargers 3-5 against teams over 500, and that's my issue with that team. That's not and then you could say, well, if you're 4-4, it just didn't feel good, and they won a couple late. You know what I mean, to make it respectable. But if I remember, they might have started like 1-4 against teams over 500, and they beat up the other teams, and they won. They got to play who's on the schedule. I just don't know how good they are. I really don't.
The Chargers?
The Chargers. I don't know how good they are. And now you're not playing any teams that are under 500. Everybody's a playoff team.
Yep. And the one thing I will say, like I mentioned, is they at least are starting to play some type of football where they can stay competitive and be in these games. It's not always have to be shootouts. It doesn't always have to be on Justin Herbert's got to throw 40 passes. Like they are in a game where they can stay in these games. They can have run the ball, even if it isn't about we ran for 140, 50 yards, but they just stay running the game. Running the ball, keeping the defense honest. It allows for Justin Herbert to produce. And the defense got to improve. They started off good and they kind of start slipping to the end of the season. But Jim Harbaugh, listen, he's got them where they want. He's probably ahead of schedule,
too.
On them?
Did they play the Ravens?
The Ravens, they almost beat the Chiefs. The Raiders be acting like they want to do something, then they go Raider on us, and we don't know what happens. Rob G, that was your time to like speak Raider. Like we don't speak fluent Raider, so you're supposed to tell us what's be going on up there.
I mean, it hasn't been good what's going on.
Well, but you got to be happy. They're making changes. They're not sitting on their hands, Rob G.
Yeah, I'll tell you what.
They are cleaning house.
I don't want to compare apples to oranges, but it's similar to when Magic Johnson came in and started running the Lakers, where you're like, oh man, Magic Johnson, the legend. He's a sharp guy, business-wise. You know he's going to make all the right moves. And then he kind of didn't. Like, he gave away Ivica Zubac for nothing. Like, he was punting on draft picks because he was so singularly focused on 3 years from now getting LeBron James, which worked out.
Yeah.
I remember
I don't know how that might happen with Tom Brady. Like, Tom Brady might be so singular focused on bringing back Belichick or Vrabel and getting the Patriot way going that he might miss the boat on some other stuff.
Rob G was so mad at Magic. I remember the day to talk him out of it. He was going to go down to the crypto, or at the time, with a wet blanket and throw it over Magic's statue. And I was like, Rob G, don't do that.
First of all, no, I mean, hey, listen, I understand it. Magic retired, but I don't think Magic is what's the term I want to use? Maniacal as Tom Brady. Whereas Magic, I got this, I got the Commanders, I got this business, I got my team, my own. He has his own TV network, Aspire. I think Magic would be like, I want to be around, be involved, but I don't want to do every single thing day to day to grind it out that it would take. I mean, he said that when he left too.
But
whereas Tom Brady, I think if I'm in, he's gonna be maniacal with it. Like,
well, he hasn't been like that with Fox.
Well,
that's the problem.
Well, also because he can't. So I think he's better off in this position. You know why, Rob? Because he needs something competitive. He's still close to it. Me just talking about it is clear, it's cool, but being a part of it, trying to build this so we can win and earn one, like that's what he needs.
To your point, he did, allegedly sacrifice his whole family to play football.
Right, because his wife, remember when they...
No, I mean, legitimately, right? Weren't there reports that said, hey, if you go back to football, we're getting a divorce.
Right, I'm done.
And that man said, Blue 42!
Yeah. Man, that's tough.
Hey! And now she's got a butt in the oven. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
they're not even split up, right? Didn't she get a...
I don't know the technical. They're split up, but I don't know.
She has a butt in the oven, Rob G, doesn't
I know.
She?
Yep.
Yeah. Which, by the way, that's a lot of quick getting to the buns in the oven. Like, I know we broke up and everything, but dang, you ain't waste no time.
But she's an older woman. How long you want her to wait?
First of all, you already got kids. What you need more kids for?
No,
this is what I would be doing if I was Tom. I'd be calling her, hey. I ain't saying we got to be together, but said, dang.
I need a kid with my new man, is what. That's what it is. I need a kid with him.
That added a little extra sauce to it, yeah.
Yes.
Ooh. I mean, like, she really want to be with him. Like, I want to start a family with him. That was the one thing in that roast of Tom Brady where he was like, that wasn't really funny. You cheated. You must have deflated balls because you're done. Then, yeah, I see why Giselle left you. You can't even keep it from a trainer? He was like, that was the one time he wanted to pull the plug on that whole thing. Like, no,
man, what are you saying? Right.
Man, you know your kids are going to be... No. And I was like, ooh.
Well, he set himself up for
that.
He
did set himself
up.
That roast, I had to pause it a few times. I was uncomfortable. But it was good, though.
877-99 on Fox. What's the most likely underdog, right?
Yeah.
To upset
you got
one of these NFL playoff teams? Who on Wildcard weekend, who is it?
Yeah, I think if you're making me, I'm going with the
is it
Chargers to beat the Texans.
Right, because the Texans have the home field.
Yeah, and I just don't, their offense.
Or is it, right,
Minnesota.
Right, Minnesota.
Smacking up the Rams on a neutral site
site, not even in Los Angeles because of the fires and